just a swing step lift. It kind of ties into the gut wrench. So we're gonna go swing step. So we're back in our crab position. Now, most kids can't lift with the butterfly lock. So when they pull their lock down, their hands are here. Okay, so you can have them start lifting from this lock. They pull their lock down, put his knee behind the butt, pulled his lock down, got in position, back in the crab. So then he's gonna, it's similar as rocking on that gut. He's gonna rock away, and then his motion, what he wants to do, the critical part to lifting is fast feet, fast hands. But this foot, if this foot, step to my foot. You see how his head's down and his butt's up. The kids don't step close enough. So what I always tell kids, turn your toe in and try to step to his armpit. So do it again, swing step and snatch. See how where his foot is? Then look where his head's coming up and his butt's down. And then he snatches the lock, pull, snatch. So then the other critical component is getting the lock onto the side you're on. You can have him freeze him right here. Head up, butt down. Sitting in his chair. Okay, back down. You can do it again. Okay, swing step. Pull. Set their position first. Now, one of the other key components when they get a little older is the right shoulder's critical, because you want to stop this guy because he's moving. So when you swing, you're swinging to stop him. You're getting a stop on him. So he jams hard with his shoulder, and he's stopping him. Because when he jams hard with his shoulder, where's Patrick want to go? Which direction? Back, right? So he's going into the lift. So what Mason will do is he'll jam down, and then he pushes back a little bit, and then right when he feels the energy, he's snatching up to his swing step. Head up, butt down. So you got him loaded here. Now, the critical part is stepping out with this foot. So as you step out, shoulder down, just keep stepping, shoulder down, fast feet, throw your arms. Just do it fast, don't try to stop, just go. You're gonna throw your arms over your head, front shoulder down, pull, over. So you wanna get the kids throwing their arms hard as they step. The goal is kids are gonna step, they're gonna stop, and then they're gonna try to throw. But when they do that, their feet get too close together, and then they can't get the guy over. So when you get to your feet, you jamming, turn, head up, butt down here, and then as you step, right when this foot hits, you're throwing. You're corkscrewing your hips are sealing the shoulder down. Jimmy was a good lifter. Medeiros had a good lift. Okay, so go. This is the same lift he did. So jam, swing step, pull, fast feet, fast hands, shoulder down, over.
I always had trouble with that step though, like that was my problem.
The short legs.
Stepping and then turning my hands to load
Yeah.
the guy.
So there's a couple things you can do. Is if you know how to, you know how to do it.
Yeah, I did the slide.
Yeah.
Here,
So I think we learned this from Europeans when Jimmy was wrestling.
what's his name? Fernando Speed?
Yeah,
Cuba.
from Cuba, Olympic champion. So if your foot gets caught, so you hit your swing step, pull. So all you're gonna do, see how he gets on his toe, go back.
Lift your leg, Mason.
Step, lift this leg up.
Yeah.
He just takes step, 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 over. So it's just a short step.
Yay!
And your hips are going, corkscrewing over. Fast feet, fast hands. Fast feet, fast hands. That's the critical part. Fast feet, fast hands. And not, we talked about the arching position. If the kids get to here and they go this way, they're throwing that direction. So that's why you gotta step, shoulder down, and you're throwing this direction, over the top. You can load them up for 5. If you load them up, for 5. Don't throw them for 5.
That was more what I did.
Swing step again?
Yeah, swing step, jam.
Yeah.
Adios.
Load for 5. So when you load him, you're just snatching the hips. Snatch, 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 get his hips up as high as you can, and then you can go over for 5. Yes?
And your main line of defense would be either posting on an arm or diving off of the lift. The legs would have.
Yeah, like, well, there's certain situations, so.
High legs and they try to
Right,
stop
so the
step.
first thing you wanna do is, right when he goes to swing step, forward and off. Go back, go beat him to the lift. Don't even let him get gapped. Beat him to the lift. So again, that's what I was talking about being offensive on bottom. When you feel that guy moving and you feel his shoulders and he starts moving to get to his lift, you gotta get off the lift. If he gets him up, then he can Superman off. Go ahead, cover off the. He gets him up a little bit, and then you can Superman off. So Mason's doing like a senior level, and kids have trouble because they bring their hands down and then they get snatched because they turn their hip. But if you just Superman off away from him. So Superman the other way, off the other way, off the lip. So you're gonna go this direction. You do. Me? Remember I do.
See?
So you're gonna go off away from the lift. Whichever side you lift, there you go. See, off the lift. He gets you up, you just put your toe in and off the lift. Easiest one. Mason's doing a little high level, the guys push on the arms and they go straight. The key is when you hit the mat, recovering back to your elbow position and your hips, because if you hit the mat, most guys when they hit the mat, they're looking for a gut right off of that.
Appreciate that. So
Transition to a
sometimes
gut.
those legs get tangled up and you get offers all the time, you know. And
Yeah.
I'd like to see what a good defense would look like versus a desperate one that leads to fouls.
Well, what happens a lot is when kids lift, the other guy gets jackknifed. So the guy will get bent over. So he goes to lift. And this guy will get, don't go stiff. He'll get jackknifed, this position.
Yeah.
Seeing the legs get caught? So most kids, you can do a kick finish from here, but most kids get stuck and then the legs get cut. But if his leg's bent, how are you gonna call that when he goes to step? He's blocking with his leg, it's different. If he's straight, or if he's hooking,
I'm gonna be looking, is he using that leg to prevent him from stepping over, and that's a foul for sure, but if he's setting like that, there's not much you can do.
so here's another finish. Go ahead, do the Swedish finish.
Yeah.
Go, just sit, Superman. So he's gonna go, and this is a good finish for kids too. So this foot's up right here. All he's gonna do is sit and look over his shoulder.
Oh.
Easy finish, look over your other shoulder. And just sit, look over your shoulder. But because if they get really stiff, you just sit on the leg, pop right over. Easy finish, and the kids don't hit their heads. But that's not legs either, you're just sitting back. So that's an easy finish. So then you can get into lift combinations. Those are a little trickier for kids because they start slipping underneath. So you really got to emphasize where their shoulders go, and they go combinations. So you just go to different reads off the lifts. One of the things I wanted to cover to see what you guys thought. So I was scouting for the U23s this year because we had a guy in the tournament, the Worlds, and there was a Russian European champ in there. So we've been working this lift series. Mason does it good. So this guy posts, so we're going to the senior level and the higher levels, they do a lot of side lifts because the split lifts, the swing steps, the guys can get off, they block better. So the guys go swing, they go side lifts, like Roman Vlasov, Olympic champion from Russia. So he's gonna go.
You want me to do the gut or the left?
The lift first. So what Mason's doing is he's gonna jam, he's gonna go side lift, but he's stepping over the arm. You see where he steps? So this guy's got a couple options here. And no, just go back. If he pulls his arm out, he's lifting up. He's lifting and finishing. So go. He tries to get his arm out, lift. He runs a little bit, front step, and throw. So you gotta get your momentum going forward. You gotta like cinch him up, sit, momentum forward, big step. Of course, so turn this way. Come back here. Turn around. So come back. Okay, come back. So Patrick leaves his arm really tight. He's really strong defense, so go do your get over the arm. So Patrick goes here. Legs.
The world.
Legs.
Like a trap arm.
Like a trap arm.
You see how they're doing it? Because the guy goes hard on gut. So on side lift, you gotta get a good jam. And then you gotta fast feet jump it up, okay? So if he brings his arm out, he's snatching up. If he goes inside, where he's at, he keeps it there and he gets really stiff. He just digs his foot in the mat, shoulder down. Okay, so a lot of guys do. So I was watching at the U23s, the Russian was wrestling the guy from Georgia, and he did this twice. And the first time he gutted him over the arm, and the second time the guy said, I'm getting my head inside. So go head inside. Head inside. 2. Gutted him twice, but then the problem is the Russian got lifted for 4, lost 4-4. Because he didn't get him up. You know what I mean? He was slick with his guts, so the guy's trapped. He goes head inside, gut. So the thing for officiating, you call that legs.
Wow.
Well, it all depends. I mean, you're almost looking for your.
I'm not calling-
You're
are you
almost
saying
looking for a
offensive?
two and a caution.
Yeah, you call
Is what you're looking for, hoping maybe.
He's
take the
lifted,
base and grab
He's
it.
creating the action, he's doing all the work.
yeah, his legs are there, but it's like,
What else is he
then
gonna
you would
do?
call legs on everything, you start
So
calling, you know.
I wouldn't call legs offensively.
Jimmy.
What about
What you're
the,
looking for is maybe.
the Donnie Alou one, where he
Defensive
stepped
leg,
over
maybe
and he
sit
pulled
down
him and then
and
he
grab
shoved his
it.
foot and it looked like the guy hooked
Yeah.
his
So you're looking for a two and a caution too.
So the thing is, you're probably not gonna see a lift like this at the junior and cadet level, or if kids are wrestling internationally, you might see it. More kids are starting to side lift now, because when you get into international wrestling, the side lift, you gotta get the guy up. Most of the lifts are side lifts. Because the split lifts, the guys are getting off the lifts. You can, so what we're doing now is we go side lift. So he's gonna transition back to his swing step. So he's gonna go, he fakes like he's going swing or the guy defends, then he's gonna jump across back to his swing step. So go again. Right into the swing step. So the guy moves into the swing step. So if you can get the kids moving their feet. So one thing that I do with the kids is I have them put their back of their palm on the mat. They'll go like this in their lock, and they'll get in a tripod position, and I'll move. So I'll blow the whistle, and they'll start one direction circling, circle, circle, blow the whistle, they go back, 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 and you get them moving fast. Okay, break. And you just get them moving their feet. And then on the second whistle, like you double whistle,
Boom.
lift. So they're moving their feet, but they get their hands here and they can learn to move their feet, like circling, and you get them moving where they're going fast feet. So it's almost like a cone drill where you're cutting back, but then they can work on getting their hands and getting them up. And just if they're not throwing yet, just get them snatching up correctly so they're sitting in the chair, and then they're ready to finish, and you can go to a crash pad first. I even have the kids do dummies. I'll have them do gut wrenches on a speed dummy to a lift. They'll gut, lift, because they're not hurting each other. And then as they progress, they'll start having finish more. So those are the side lifts. Let's look at the finish, because sometimes kids hit their heads. Get down. So again, watch Mason, what he does with his front foot on a side lift. Go side lift. Go to your finish, run it forward a little bit. Just set your feet. he's got him up. See how he runs his feet? Forward, step, throw. He's got to get the momentum. You don't want kids throwing. Come here, Patrick. Don't do it. You get it. So if he tries to throw straight over the top of his head, the guy's probably going to land on top of him. Don't do it. Just get in the position. Like if he just tries to throw this way, Patrick's going to go up. Okay? So, an easy finish off of this, go to the half off of this. He's going to jam the half.
With the knee?
Huh?
Are you talking about the 2 knees in?
Just side lift, the guy turns, jam the half. So sometimes the guys will turn in, lift them up first, get them up. Pull up to your lift. Pulls, got them up, Patrick turns, boom, the kids can go right into a half, it's easy. So they turn, but guys get really good at this, senior level guys, the guy turns too hard and they just jam a half. It's a simple Halfnelson, but the guy turns down. So for kids too, it's a good read. The kid turns down the wrong, you just slam a half in, just run a half, so do it again. So turn really hard. Pull. Sometimes the kids will really turn, sometimes they just turn a little bit, and the kids will pull up, catch a half. Easy finish. If the guy turns in on you on a side lift,
Turns in.
pull, he turns in. Okay, sometimes they get to their feet, they'll turn in. Okay, then you're out in a different situation. Sometimes the guy will square up here, and you go to the front. So now you're in a front body lock situation. You can tackle, lift, throw. Sometimes you get them up and the guy's pulling down, you just crack them back really hard. Just crack back. But sometimes they'll turn in on you really hard on a side lift. They'll try to turn in and then you can catch the body on the front side. So just different reads, different positions. But just make sure when you start a side lift, you get the kids running forward a little bit so they can clear and over the top. So I would recommend start with swing steps, snatching, getting the lock up, and how to step out correctly. And then when this foot hits, fast feet, fast hands, popping, corkscrew position. And Patrick Cadwalder, a lot of you know him.
Yep.
Pat Jr. He was really good at just getting guys up and doing like a standing gut wrench. He would just get his shoulder down, back step out, standing gut wrench. He'd get 4 all the time. And he was really good at that, getting guys up. So there's different finishes off of that. You don't always have to finish over the top. A side lift, you can do this, Patrick. So Patrick starts, he's got a mid-level lock. He's gonna jump aside, jump, pull. Okay, so he comes up. Now we're back to the side lift situation. He would step in, run forward, throw. So easy lift. So go to the lift, jam him. So there's different reads off of this. So you go side lift, you jump it. He jams into him. He jams into your gut wrench. Easy read. He goes, now push your foot. He goes down really hard, he jumps it. You can jam the front or you can jump the back. Back foot over. Back up. Put your knee inside. This foot over. Jump it. Back. You either go through or straight back. Just jump it, post it, jump, you know what I mean? Got 2, post your foot and jump back on top. Post your outside foot to the mat. Keep your knee in. Keep your knee in. Okay, this foot's gonna come over this way. Now, you gotta start the lift. You know what I'm talking about here? You start the lift, he hips off. Okay. Over, put your head down, just post your outside foot. And then you go back on top. You're doing the dance. Okay. So all you gotta do is jump, post, kick back up. You're just getting the tip, back up. Or you can roll through like Patrick did. And then on the lift too, There's a guy really good, he was Kevin Bracken, did this lift. And he said he couldn't do a good side lift. Talking to him, he retired quite a few years ago. He was in Colorado, but he would do this lift and he would just jump it up and then just run backwards and fall back and get forward. He didn't even really go for the high arch or anything. So just get on top. Don't start there, get on top. So jump it, pull up, and just run backwards, run, and just easy forward for kids that can't arch yet. It's just, it's a safe. You're still getting forward, you got the guy you have to run him back. So, any questions? So you got a swing step, side lift. You got a side lift where Mason did it, lifted, and then you got both knees in on the side lift, where you just pull up, he jams your gut, goes hard the other way. You can either just jump it, post and back, roll through, or just stand up with it, run back, and go.
You know show the difference between the high gut lift?
Yeah.
Like Andrew used to do a lot of.
Who did?
Andrew. Swantis.
Yeah, so that was Kenny's high gut lift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really high.
Do the high gut lift. Yeah, do high gut lift. This Kenny Cook did this really good. He's really good at gymnastics, and he did this even at the senior. So you jam down, okay, you jump it. It's the same thing to the side here. Big step in front, pull, and you just take a big step with your front foot. Easy forward. But Kenny, Jimmy's workout partner, he multiple-time national champion. He's a state champion. But he was really good at this because he had a really good arch gymnast, and he would arch through it. He used to do this really good at the senior level. So you just do the same thing. If you jump it, you can go backside gut off of this. Or if he fights back away, you just go backside. Over. You go, the key on that one is you gotta go knee over. So you're getting pressure and over the shoulder, so you're not slipping underneath.
And you used to jump to both knees too, like pick them up like this, and then come up with it. And then
He's kind of doing a hybrid of,
Yeah,
because
that's
Nate
hybrid.
did the one Patrick's doing.
Yeah,
And he'd
but
kind of
he
be, yeah. The other situation that I see for kids is they do a high gut lift, straddle lift. So from a defensive position, just jump to your feet, pull up. So, no, don't do anything yet. So what he's trying to do, straighten your legs. He's trying to sit here, and I see a lot of kids get hurt here.
Oh.
Because they get their back bowed, right? Because they're taught, this guy's pulling back and he's gonna pick a side and pull to a side, but the kids don't know what to do. Easy defense. So when he jumps to the lift, Patrick's gonna go butt up, knock him off. So his hips are higher than his shoulders. Because if you're this direction, you're getting your back bowed. And a lot of kids I see at the state meets, the kids will do a high gut lift and they get caught there because they're not sure which direction to go. So it's just butt up over your head. So do it again. So you want to teach the kids right when the guy jumps up, just butt up and hit him with your butt as hard as you can. Knock him off again with your low back. Just hit as hard as you can, and then if he's still on top of you, recover back down to the mat, no lock defense. But that was good. Brought that to me. I was thinking about that, the safety thing. I've seen kids get hurt doing that. Any other questions on lifts? What are the refs looking for on leg fouls? What are you guys looking for?
Whole video.